Hello everyone and welcome back to AFE Sports. It's another end to the week, which means another set of Premier League predictions, game week 25. Let's get into it. The 12:30 early kickoff is Brentford versus Liverpool. Now Brentford picked up a massive win away to Wolves. I predicted Wolves were going to win. I hold my hands up. Brentford were brilliant. Obviously, Cunha came off early, but Brentford just showed their class. A goal from Norgard, and then obviously the main man they've been missing all season, Ivan Toney, came up with a second goal to win the game 2-0. Liverpool, on the other hand, bounced back from their loss at the Emirates, and they won 3-1 at Anfield. Núñez getting on the score sheet. He's been trying to get on the score sheet for a while now, so glad he's got in on the goals. He had a little drought, but yeah, for me, I think Liverpool are very much title contenders, and I think they win this game 2-1. 2-1 result for me. Despite being at the G-Tech, they lost their last season, but for me, 2-1 to Liverpool. Then we go to the 3 o'clock games. First of the 3 o'clock games is Burnley versus Arsenal. Now, Burnley obviously lost 3-1, and someone's got to talk about Vincent Kompany. He's not changing anything. They keep trying to play the football that they were playing in the Championship, and it's not working. They haven't got the players, they haven't got the personnel to go toe-to-toe with teams in the Premier League, and it's clearly not working. Do we think he should be sacked? I don't think so. I think if they do get relegated, he has every right to for him to have the opportunity to bring them back up. I just think the recruitment and the funds to spend haven't been used wisely, and they haven't really built a squad well to stay in the Premier League. That being said, Arsenal with a brilliant performance. It wasn't even 5-star, it was 6-star, 6-0 against West Ham. Obviously, Declan Rice getting his goal against his former club. And for me, I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Arsenal. I think Arsenal continue putting the pressure on City and Liverpool in this title race. Then we go to Fulham versus Aston Villa. Now, Fulham got a big win at home against Bournemouth. I predicted a draw, and Fulham just literally said, listen, AFE Sports, we took that personally, and we're going to get this big 3 points. Rodrigo, I don't even know his name, Muniz on the score sheet as well. Aston Villa, on the other hand, lost at home. Back-to-back losses now for Aston Villa to Manchester United. They did look the better team, but the points are what matter at the end of the day. For me, I'm still going to back Villa. I know it's going to annoy some Fulham fans, but I'm going to go for a 1-0 Villa win. I think Villa have got enough, and they should bounce back and win this game. Then we go to Newcastle versus Bournemouth. Now, Newcastle got a big 3 points away from home at the City Ground. A tough place to go, despite how Nottingham Forest have been this season. They got revenge from Boxing Day. Bruno G picking up the winner, winning 3-2. Bournemouth obviously losing away to Fulham. I think this is very much a no-brainer for me. St James's Park, let's not make a mistake. Newcastle to win 2-1 for me. I think they are going to get a little bit of a run of form now because they've got some favourable games. But yeah, 2-1 to Newcastle. Then we go to both teams who lost last weekend. Nottingham Forest against West Ham. Now, Forest, despite losing to Newcastle, did play somewhat well. West Ham were dreadful though. West Ham were awful. Obviously, you saw the fans leaving the stadium early. People want Moyes out. I think what he's done with West Ham should give him enough time till the end of the season. I don't see the point of sacking David Moyes unless you're fighting for survival. When West Ham are not, they've overachieved compared to my prediction. But having said that, I do think they lose this game, and I am going to go with a 1-0 Nottingham Forest. I think Nottingham Forest will snatch a win here, and they will get big 3 points to help them with survival. The glasses are on now. Tottenham versus Wolves is the next game. Now in the reverse fixture, obviously Wolves won in the dying moments. But that was with a Tottenham team that were missing a lot of players. Van der Ven, Romero, Richarlison, Maddison, the list goes on. However, there have been some reports this week of Pedro Porro being out, Destiny Udogie being out. That's their fullback pairing, their go-to fullback pairing. So will we see Emerson Royale? Will we see Ben Davies having to fit in and slot in? Although on the other side, Cunha out for a while. It's not looking good, says Gary O'Neill, and that is a big miss for Wolves. I mean, obviously you've got Neto as well, you've got Sarabia, but Matheus Cunha has been their front man for scoring goals, and for that reason I'm going to go with a 2-1 Tottenham win. I think Tottenham just have enough to win the 3 points at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Then the biggest game of the game week, Manchester City versus Chelsea. Now Manchester City obviously beat Everton last weekend, and then they went to Copenhagen and dispatched of them, winning 3-1. Chelsea with a massive win on Monday. Didn't play too well, but they got the 3 points, and that's what matters. They won 3-1 away to Crystal Palace. But Chelsea also like to turn up against the bigger teams. I mean, they did it against Arsenal, they did it against City, but both of those games were at home. And obviously, we saw them away from home at Anfield. They were dreadful. But I think they'll put up more of a fight. Having said that, I still think City will win. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 Manchester City win. I think they just have too much quality, and Chelsea don't really know, well, Poch doesn't really know his strongest team yet, and I think he's still trying to work it out. So for me, I'm going to go for a 3-1 Manchester City win. And then on to Sunday, 2 o'clock, Sheffield United versus Brighton. Now, Sheffield United and Brighton played this fixture in the FA Cup, and Brighton won with ease. Sheffield United have been a bit poor as well. Chris Wilde has not really changed anything. Obviously, they got the win at Luton, and fair enough, big respect that they needed that win. But Brighton just have too much quality, in my opinion, man. I don't see Sheffield United getting anything from this game, and for that reason, I have gone with a 2-1 Brighton win. I think Jean Pedro and hopefully Estepinian gets in amongst the goals as I've got in my FPL team. So, yeah, 2-1 Brighton win. And who would have thought 5 years ago Luton would be hosting Manchester United in the Premier League? Not me. Anyways, Luton versus Manchester United, a big game for Manchester United. I mean, we've seen teams crumble at Kenilworth Road. We've seen Liverpool only scamper a point. We've seen City struggle. We've seen Arsenal having to score in the dying moments of the game to win the game. It's going to be a tough one for Manchester United, but I do seeing them just about edging it, like they have been doing, like they did against Villa away. And for me, it's going to be a 2-0 Manchester United win. I don't think Luton score. 2-0 Manchester United. And then Monday, Everton. Now, I'm very annoyed at the Premier League for making me have to wait till the last game of the game week to watch Everton, considering that obviously the news has come out that Roy Hodgson has been sacked and been replaced by Oliver Glasner, the former Frankfurt coach, who had a lot of success in Germany. And obviously the manager bounce is a thing. It's not a myth. Crystal Palace will be up for it now. Obviously getting rid of Roy, they were crying out for it after that Arsenal game, and then the Chelsea game must have been the final nail in the coffin. Obviously there's terrible news about Roy Hodgson as well. I hope he gets well soon. He's a legend of the game. But yeah, let's get into the talking about the game essentially. So as it stands, to my knowledge, Elise and Eze are out, which for me, it's not me being biased. I am going to go with an Everton 2-1 win. Hopefully it comes true, because we need those 3 points. And Oliver Glasner has Friday, Saturday, Sunday to prepare them. He's not going to be able to instill his philosophy and his tactics in that time. This is me talking to myself, giving myself confidence, and hopefully Everton come out with a 2-1 win. But yeah, 2-1 to Everton, we pray. And those are my Premier League predictions for game week 25. Let me know what you lot think in the comments. And I'll see you lot later. And remember, stay healthy.